Go ahead and get things started. I am your next presenter. If you hadn't caught this earlier, my name is Mike Hines, and in addition to being a developer evangelist at Amazon, I'm also a bit of a serial entrepreneur. I have either founded or co-founded 4 different companies, and well, the most important thing I learned is control your burn rate. Really control your burn rate. Do you need to spend that money? The second most important thing I learned is increase your revenue and be really cagey, aggressive, and guerrilla about where you find additional sources of revenue. At Amazon, we really like keeping indies in business because we found a really good business model is being able to offer a huge selection of quality games to our customers. I mean, that's a great marketplace, right? So part of keeping a great selection of your apps in our store is keeping you in business. Now, we have a really good metric here that's been developed by Developer Economics, and it's the app poverty line. Now, in general, the app poverty line is simply a way of saying, can the revenue from your current game pay for development of your next game? If it's not happening, it's going to be really hard to have a long-lived, thriving game company. So that's where they kind of list the app poverty line. For general numbers' sake, they're saying $500 a month. If you're making $500 a month or more on your current game, you can probably, as an indie, fund your next game. Depending on what app store you're in, between 40 and 60% of the developers are over the app poverty line. Not nearly enough. If we want a healthy ecosystem, we need to help more developers be over the app poverty line. And so that's kind of become a bit of a mission for us, because one thing is clear. When you're looking at the traditional metrics and the traditional metrics around monetization, it's hard to make money these days. Premium is tough because you really limit your downloads when you're asking for money and everybody else is giving their stuff away for free. But when you give away your stuff for free in a freemium model, maybe you monetize, what, 3%? And then how you monetize, well, as Mario just showed us, it's actually a bit of work to go in there and optimize your in-app purchasing to make the most of that 3% that's going to actually spend money. There are a few games that have been successful ad-supported, but for the most part, they don't cover the cost of user acquisition. So at Amazon, we've actually looked at developing new ways to help you earn money as a game developer. So let me talk through the first one, is Amazon Coins. Amazon Coins is a virtual currency that lets your customers buy coins at a discount, spend them on apps, premium, and on in-app purchase items within freemium apps at regular value. So if I buy a whole bunch of coins as a customer, I may get a 10% or 15% discount, but when I spend them, you as a developer get full face value. So Amazon is footing a bit of the discount for customers who want to spend. Now, this is handy for everybody, but it's particularly a power user move for people who are super engaged and super spenders on certain apps. For example, just take a look at the quote below here, and you'll see the impact that this has on large spenders. So what can you do to help make Amazon Coins really effective inside your game? Well, a couple things. There is, for example, what Hearthstone did. Hearthstone had a special Twitch streaming event, and during their Twitch streaming event, they promoted the fact that they were actually having a really good deal on bundles. One of the things that they were able to do is say, if you buy this card pack, if you buy this in-app purchase item, we're going to go ahead and give you more. I'll get to that in just a sec. So you can create Amazon rewards for taking certain actions, like in Hearthstone. Now, when Hearthstone ran this Twitch campaign, they did exactly that with one of their card packs. And this is what the customer saw. They saw the ability to make a purchase and then get coins back from that purchase, lowering their effective cost. So what can you do? How can you make this work for you? If you have this incredible Vorpal sword in your dungeon crawler game, and maybe you want to sell this thing for 50 bucks, One of the things you can do to get traction and get buzz going about this is offer $20 back in Amazon coins. You still get $30 from the user for selling the Vorpal sword, and they actually get a value worth $20. Now, remember, you didn't actually spend $20 on that discount because, well, you got 50, you gave back 20, but you didn't really give back 20 because you bought the coins at a discount. So you spent about $18, just a little less than $18 to get those coins. So you were actually giving the customer a $20 value for a discount. I mean, that's a really great deal. It works out really well for you. It works out well for your customers. And it actually gives them something in addition to that Vorpal sword that they find really valuable in your game. So how does this work? Well, we did one of these promotions and tracked it with one of our RPG game customers, and this is what we found. If you take a look at this chart, you'll see that before the program started, their comparable downloads and revenue were about the same as Google Play. But within 6 months, an installation on Amazon was now worth $15, which is significantly larger than it is on the competing platforms. And the interesting thing about that is the install on the Amazon platform is still significantly smaller than the number of installs on Google Play, even now that the revenue is so significantly higher because of the incentive driven by a coins program and a coins campaign. So you can see that this can make a really big difference to your customers when incented by Amazon coins packages. So what do you do when you get home? Well, I want you to do just a few things when you get home. First of all, I want you to figure out how you can target your power users and create a coins reward program targeted to people who are spending the most money in your games. As we remember from Mario, that'll be people who are in your game for 30 days or longer, people who have made 3 or more purchases. Look for these people in your game and give them promotions on coin packs on the more expensive things that you've got going in your game. Go ahead and promote that campaign in your app. Go ahead and promote that in social media as well, outside of your app. Put it in YouTube or Twitch and make an event out of being able to give your best spenders some really good value. Okay, so that's how you can use Amazon coins to provide discounts and incentives for creating new power users and rewarding your existing power users. The next thing that we have that we've looked at is Merch by Amazon. Okay, what is Merch by Amazon? It's a self-service tool that you can use to create and sell t-shirts. Okay, bear with me here. T-shirts, I hear you ask. I'm a developer. The last thing I want to do is have a garage full of boxes of t-shirts that now I have to take credit card orders for. That's not our view either. What we want to do is give you the ability to kind of upload your game art, and Amazon will take care of the rest. We'll take care of the printing, the payment, returns, shipping. We'll take care of all of that, and we'll even create a really great detail page for you, because when you can make a shirt that has your intellectual property on it, now you have something that you can give to the biggest fans of your game, and it will generate additional revenue. One of, again, my favorite quotes for being in the t-shirt business comes from Brian. Brian, are you in the room yet? Well, okay, he's not in the room yet, but he'll be here right after lunch. And what Brian found was that customers of his who were reluctant to buy an in-app purchase item or digital good, turns out a lot of those people were perfectly okay spending 20 bucks on a t-shirt. Okay, they don't want to get a 99-cent in-app purchase item, but they'll drop 20 bucks on a t-shirt. Well, if the t-shirt has one of their favorite characters on it, or better yet, it has all of the good guys or all of the bad guys on one shirt, that really helps customers engage with what they think is wonderful. Think for just a minute about the New York Marathon. When you finish the marathon, okay, the game is over, it's done. But what do? You go out and you buy a shirt because you're so proud of what you've just done. Think about beating the boss at level 10. All right, maybe you don't work up quite as much a sweat, but it's still hard work beating the boss. And you know what? You beat the boss at level 10, all of a sudden here's a pop-up, do you want a t-shirt? And you show the little pile of dust that is the former boss of level 10, and you can get that amazing destructive explosion on a t-shirt. How cool is that? And it works. It's all so easy. There's no out-of-pocket cost to you. It doesn't cost anything to do this. What you do is you upload your art, you promote the shirt. We'll give you a detailed page on Amazon that's just like any other detailed page of products sold by Amazon. And then you can analyze the sales. This is great because you don't have to have an Amazon app. This works cross-platform, Amazon, iOS, Google Play, Windows Phone, Samsung, whatever. It also works if you have a web app. You can still promote your web app or console game with shirts through Merch by Amazon. And there's never an out-of-pocket cost to you because of the way that we work pricing. When you set up your shirt with your art, you get to choose the suggested retail price over there on the left. When a customer of yours orders the shirt, Amazon subtracts our costs, and whatever is left over is a royalty that you've earned. So you never actually have to spend anything to get a shirt up for sale. And even if only one person buys your shirt, Amazon will send it to your mom free of charge to you. If you're a Prime customer, if your mom or your best friend is a Prime customer, they'll probably get it 2-day shipping right after it's printed. So what does it look like when you get your own detail page on Amazon? Well, it looks like this. This is a photo of a shirt from Dragon Veil, and this is the Prism Dragon up on the shirt. Really colorful, really pretty. And it really does a lot to help promote the game and really satisfy a user demand for things that are kind of cool and endearing about the game. So, how do you sell these shirts? Well, it's, again, platform independent. They appeal to fans who won't necessarily buy in-app purchase items, and there's no out-of-pocket cost to you. Now, the best way to promote your shirt is inside the game itself. For example, don't just put it in your IAP catalog, a link to get a t-shirt. What I want you to do is I want to put it in the fabric of the game itself. So if you're currently developing a game and you beat the boss at level 10, that's where you pop up a message that they can get this really cool t-shirt to celebrate their achievement. If your game is already in market, don't worry about it, because 20% of your shirt sales are going to come from outside of the app. And that's a good enough number that there's no reason you shouldn't do this. Except I hear you saying, Mike, I'm a developer, I don't design t-shirts. The only good reason for me not to do this is I have no idea how to make a shirt. Well, that's okay. I was in the same place, and a lot of our other developers were too. So we kind of developed this cheat sheet for how to make your first great shirt. First, when you go and build a shirt on Amazon, you have a lot of colors of base t-shirt to choose from. Just because they're all there doesn't mean you need to pick all of them. As a matter of fact, we've seen the best sales when you've got 3 or 4 different t-shirt colors. This is really important because it avoids customer confusion and it lets you speed things along. Strongly consider a $19.95 or $19.99 price point. Those price points work out best for us in our store, and they seem to be maximizing the revenue for participants that are in the store. And ask the fans what they want. One of the best ways to get fans to go out and buy a shirt is to put the stuff on it that they're asking for. So have a quick survey in one of your games or message out, hey, you can get a t-shirt for your game. Would you like to see good guys, bad guys, or maybe one of the play fields or buildings or whatever? They'll respond, and now that as soon as they've responded, they've got some skin in the game. And if you choose their design, or if you choose the top 2 out of 3 designs and send them a link, they'll say, hey, I told them to do that. That's the shirt I told them to make. I'm going to go ahead and get that. Or at the very least, they're going to feel really happy that you listened to them, and that user's going to be retained longer. So all of that is really good stuff, and a great way for you to actually generate revenue outside of your game and do that with no out-of-pocket costs. Third thing I want to talk to you guys about is Amazon Underground. And it's true. This isn't something that a customer has to subscribe to. It's not something that they have to pay anything into to participate in. Amazon will actually pay you for every minute that every customer is in your game. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So how does that work? Well, we want to make sure that the customers get some really tremendous value out of getting apps from Amazon. Again, we found that really happy customers tends to be really good for our business model. So this is one of the things that we can do to generate extraordinarily happy customers, because what I want you to do to participate in Underground is make all of your in-app purchases $0. I want you to make all of your IAP items for free. If you've got a premium game, charge $0. Make it a $0 premium game, so that the customers are actually getting a free game for free. In the case of a freemium game, imagine an actually free freemium game. That would be kind of cool, don't you think? Then Amazon will count all of the minutes that every customer spends in your game. Actually, we count microseconds and we round up, but it's too hard to run the numbers on microseconds. So ultimately, we'll just aggregate all of the minutes that all the players have spent in your game, and then we'll pay you for that. And at the end of the month, we'll make sure that an appropriate amount is credited to your account. And this is available not just on the Amazon devices. It's available anywhere that the Amazon shopping app can be installed. So that's pretty much any new Android device and all of the existing Amazon devices. So it's available to a broad selection of customers across device families. So that's really a good broad reach for you as well. Sometimes at this point, people think or ask, why is Amazon doing this? What does Amazon get out of this? Quite simply, Amazon gets really happy customers out of this. I mean, think about how you'd feel if you can play a game, Angry Birds Star Wars or something that you might really be fond of, and all of the in-app purchase items are free, and you got it from Amazon. Well, hopefully when you decide to buy a Rolex or a big screen TV, you're going to think about how well Amazon treats you in all the other areas, and you'll be encouraged to give Amazon your business when you've decided to buy something else. A really good business model for us, and hopefully a good business model for you. Certainly a great business model for our customers. So what does your app need to do to be eligible for Amazon Underground? Well, it needs to be an Android app. For those of you who only have an iOS game, more incentive to release on Android. It needs to be premium, or it needs to be a freemium app in at least one other store. Again, the primary incentive for Amazon is that the customers see a really great value from Amazon. So they need to see that it's a freemium game somewhere else, or that it's a premium game somewhere else, so that they can see a tangible benefit from getting their game from Amazon Underground. And the next thing is it's currently available in the US and the UK, Germany, and France. We're working on rolling it out to more markets, but certainly if you've got an app in one of these markets, you can release an Underground. Now, the neat thing is with the Amazon App Store, you can release your freemium or paid version and an Underground version. So you can address these listed markets with your Underground app, and for the markets not listed, you can still sell your app as existing in premium or in Underground. So you just have additional options of making that work. Speaking about making that work, actually, how does this work for you? Well, let's do a little bit of a back-of-the-napkin calculation here. We currently pay 12 cents an hour, which works down to 0.2 cents per minute. And if we do the math on this, let's pretend that you have 10,000 users in any given period. Let's say that's it's a week. You've got 10,000 users in a week, and they play a total of 150,000 minutes. You do the math, and you figure out, okay, so in Underground, I would make $300 from those users playing that amount of time. In that same week, are you generating $300 through your in-app purchase items, yes or no? If the answer is I'm making $500 with in-app purchase items, keep it in the store as an in-app purchase app. You're doing really well. Congratulations. And you should absolutely keep it as an IAP item or as a premium item. On the other hand, if you're making less than $300 in this particular example, well, switching to Underground will be a no-brainer for you. Particularly because what we found is that when you release your game on Underground, people will play the game for longer than they will play your other app. I mean, think about it. You've spent a lot of time developing some really cool premium content for your IAP users, right? And a lot of people won't take advantage of that. But if it's all of a sudden free, now customers get all this amazing content that you've built into your game, and there's more reason for them to play and play longer and be more engaged. So you'll actually generate more minutes than I think you'd originally calculate when your app is on Underground. And that's just going to be, well, consider that bonus money for designing such really good, compelling in-app purchase items. Now, if you don't like doing back-of-the-napkin math, we also have a calculator on our website that you can use that'll let you put in a lot of different variables and play with a lot of different what-if scenarios. So go ahead and give that a shot if you want to do a more in-depth calculation. So that's how it would work for you. How is it working for other developers? Well, for this developer, we're finding out that it's a really great way to get your app in as many hands as possible. Because when someone has a chance to try your freemium or your premium app for free, they'll go ahead and they'll get this from Amazon Underground. And when a lot of people start acquiring your app, they'll start talking about it. Even if the people they talk about are iPhone users, the iPhone user is a lot more likely to get your premium or your freemium app when they hear their friends talking about how much fun your app was off of Underground. So it is a great way to increase distribution. Also, it's a great way to increase actual revenue, because when you've got a dedicated customer base and you can monetize every single one of your players, you can actually generate more money from that time spent than you do, in the example of this developer, on all other platforms combined. Now, if you've got really lousy retention and people spend a maximum of 25 lifetime minutes in your app, that may not actually be the case. But if that is the case, you maybe have some other things that we should work on first. But anyway, that's one of the possibilities. And it's not just indie developers that are benefiting from Amazon Underground. It's actually bigger developers like Halfbrick too. Take a look at the chart here. On the left, we took their Amazon App Store sales and normalized that at 100%. So the bar graph on the left should be around 1, signifying 100%. When they moved their game to Amazon Underground, you'll find that their downloads actually increased 290%, 2.9 times the number of downloads, and the amount of revenue they made went up 880%, 8.8 times the revenue that they had been making under their regular traditional models. So whether you represent an indie here or whether you represent a AAA game dev here, Amazon Underground can really be a fantastic option for you to consider for your app. So please run the numbers and find out. So what do you do now? If you've got a premium app in the market, I really want you to move that app to Underground on Amazon. First of all, it gets rid of the ceiling on revenue you can make. When you have a premium app, well, when you make that sale to a customer, that's all the money that you're going to make from that customer, outside of ads. In Underground, you'll get paid for every minute they play. Oh, yeah, and in addition to ads, because you can keep your ads in the game. Second thing, you remove the barrier to acquisition because it's free. They don't have to part with anything to get the app, and you'll get a lot more downloads because it's free. It's going to be really good because that resistance is gone and you can monetize. When we've seen premium apps convert to Underground in our store, we see them having, in general, a fairly large amount of success. So really, there's no reason not to. I mean, think about it. You'll still have your app as a premium app on Google Play and iOS. So why not put your premium app on Underground and go ahead and open the doors for some really significant monetization on our platform? I think that's a really good place to start with Amazon Underground. All right, so we've talked about those three kinds of monetization: coins, merch, and actually getting paid for every minute the users are in the app. I actually have a special offer I want to make for you guys. The special offer is Merch by Amazon. This has been a really very popular program, and right now we have a waiting list for people to participate in this merch program. But for you guys here today, I'll tell you what, if you go to Merch by Amazon, merch.amazon.com, and you sign up with the same email address that you used to register for the Dev Day, we'll go ahead and we'll look for your name in that list, and we'll immediately send you an invitation to the merch program. So make sure you sign up for a merch account by the end of the weekend, because when we get back to Seattle on Monday, we're going to start going through that application list and looking for email addresses that match the registration to today's event. And we'll go ahead and we'll approve that application and send you an invitation so you can start Merch by Amazon today. So please go ahead and do that just as soon as you possibly can. All right. Thank you very much. Please do remember to go to Dev Day Survey and fill out that survey for us. We are going to have a bit of an early lunch today. Please remember to be back by 1, where we're going to have a panel of some really good industry leaders, people who have released a lot of games and started game companies, about how to retain users and maximize retention. Guys, thank you very much. We'll see you at 12:55.